So tonight we're in the fir shed and we're going to talk about hickory nuts and black walnuts. So this is our nutcracker that we bought at the state fair a long time ago. And we are glad that we bought it because it really comes in handy for cracking black walnuts and hickory nuts. So let me show you. So we have both types of trees here on our farm. Hickory tree, shagbark hickory and black walnut trees. We have a lot of black walnut trees. So this is what they look like. This is a hickory nut after it's been hulled. It's still in the shell. And this is a black walnut, of course, in the shell after it's been hulled. So now, let me tell you a couple things about them. So first of all, they are very good for eating and baking with and cooking with. And so that's why we like to collect them. Also, you can see on my channel a video of another use for black walnuts that we do is we collect them and the kids and my husband dye the traps with them, right? I showed that on there. I did that for my husband and the kids to take the traps. So you can dye traps with black walnuts. Also, if you check my channel, you'll see another use, not for necessarily the hickory nut, but, whoops, I lost that one. The tree itself, the shagbark hickory tree. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I don't know, actually. Maybe we didn't post that video yet, but we're going to post the video of something else that the shagbark hickory tree is useful for, which is making hickory syrup. So, each tree has a couple of different, oh, and also, you know what? Also, with the black walnuts, you can get black walnut syrup. So actually, the hickory tree has two uses for us, along with shade and being pretty, and the black walnut has three for us, besides being pretty and shady. So there's a lot of wonderful things that God, when He created these trees, that He made possible for us humans to enjoy. So, okay, so we'll start with the hickory nuts. So, first of all, I don't have any that are still in the hulls because these are all been hulled. So the first step would be, but you can check the video. I have a video of us collecting these up in the orchard, in the woods. And so you'd see them in their hull. So it's kind of like a 4-piece thing that covers this. And so once you collect them, then you hull them, take them out of that little 4-piece thing. And then what you do is you put them in water. So all of them you put in water, and then that way you can see if there are, because you might have the bad ones that is in here. So if they're bad, they are going to float to the top. And so that means you don't need to crack them, you just throw them back outside because they're bad. But the ones that sink to the bottom are good. So you put them in the water, you test, you separate good from bad. And then that also kind of washes them, right? So now they're washed and they're ready. Now you have to dry them out for a little while. So, a couple days or so, depending on where you dry them out at, depending on your climate, things like that, right? So, you dry them out and then they'll look like this. And now, once they're dried out, they can last. You don't have to crack them right away. You can just keep them like this as long as you want until you use them. Now you can crack them and then save them as already cracked in a jar or bag. Or you can just save them like this and crack them as you need them. Whichever is your preference, right? Alright, so like I said, you can crack them as you need them. And actually, that's probably your best bet. Because the nut, walnut, and hickory nut, it's going to stay fresher in the shell. That makes sense, right? So I would just collect them, hull them, wash them, get them, know which ones are the best, and then I would just keep them like this, and then as you need them, as you either want to eat them or bake with them, then I would crack them. And the same goes with black walnuts. So this black walnuts in this basket over here, these have already been, of course, picked, hulled, dried out, and so these are actually from last year's picking, and now this is January of 2025. So I'm not talking about, 2024. I'm talking about 2023. So this is like over a year old, right? Because this basket here is going to be our picking from this past fall, which would be in 2024. So we have, so that's what I mean. So, and these are still good. So keep them in the shell if you want them to stay fresh, okay? So now to cracking the hickory nut. Now I'm supposed that there may be other nut crackers out there, but this I'll show you how I use this one, okay? Yeah, that's a nutcracker. Yeah, a nutcracker. Yeah, so you could probably use a nutcracker, right? Or there's other ones, I don't know all the different kinds. But anyways, this is the kind that we bought in the state fair a long time ago before we ever had kids. And so our oldest daughter is 10 years old. So this, we got it even before we had kids. So this is old. So this is how it works. It does both. Like I said, walnut and hickory. So this is the attachment that you need to use for hickory nut because it's smaller, right? The walnut will just fit right here. So this is what you do. So you have this piece, and what you do is you brush off the shells. Put that in a little bit, right? Okay. Make sure this part is touching this part, okay? And then you put this attachment on the top of that. And do you see how the tops are pointy, right? So it has to go like this. It cannot go like that. It has to go like that. That's the grooves go up and down, right? So you make sure it's standing straight up like that. And then you push this little wedge in until it goes up and it's touching the top of this right there. And you so like that, okay? Because you want to keep it standing straight up and down. You don't want it to fall down. Then you're going to pull on this lever. Now, you have to be careful though. You don't just want to yank it down. It would smash the whole nut, the shell plus the nut, and you would just have little pieces of nut. Now, of course, I guess if you wanted them to be little pieces, if you're going to use them, if that's preferable for you, then do that, right? But you could smash the nut. If you want it to be in more nice sized pieces, like these right here, that's walnut, but yeah. So that then you have to be gentle. Where's the hickory? Is that walnut? Here's the hickory. Now, it is hard though. So we do still have small pieces, but we still have some good sized pieces. But this is, that's good. But so again, it is hard. I accidentally smushed some, so don't feel bad if you do. Everybody does. Exactly. So, but what you want to do is you kind of want to get the feel for it. So we're not going to push this in all the way. We're going to back it out a little bit as we push down. See, like that. See? And then you just see that little bit. You just heard it cracking, but I didn't go all the way down with it. And then you pull out the wedge. And now you can see I cracked it, but I didn't smush it. See, and now it opens up. So now Hannah will pick out some of the nut. I'll try on this side of the shell. Now this nut, hickory nut, is kind of a soft nut because I just see a piece of it came off. So, and like I said, it's all right. It would be good for baking, little pieces like that. So, see, like that. So, Scarlett just came in. She's playing ball while she lives in the fur shed, so she's playing ball while we're cracking the nuts. And so you just kind of I'm actually not very good at that, getting them out, but we'll let Hannah get them out more. There you go. Can I have the jar for these little bits? Now, we really like to try to get all the little pieces that we can. We don't like to leave, if we can help it, leave any little pieces because hickory nuts are a really, really good flavor, and they're really pretty kind of something you don't really find a lot, right? And they're really good in baking and eating, things like that. So, let me do one more hickory nut for you guys. And then we'll go on to black walnuts. So we have this touching that, the wedge is out, that's ready. Stand it up, straight, up and down. Push in the wedge, not too much. Push the handle down, back out the wedge a little bit, and down it goes. Pull out, okay, pull out the wedge, and here is our nut. Now, that one, Hannah, show them that one. Oh, that one really looks pretty whole still, so maybe Hannah can get it out of there. Can you get it out of there? Yes. I don't know, because I might not have cracked it enough. Sometimes you might have to put it back in there and crack it open a little bit more. The shell part. Do you need me to crack it open a little bit more? You got it? Okay. Okay. And also, this handheld little nutcracker, after you've done this part mostly, you can always use this to help it open a little bit more if you need to. If you don't want to put it back in here, you know.
House tweezers.
Yeah, and we have tweezers that we can use.
Turn that off.
Yeah, oh, it's coming out now. There it goes. Show it to you.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
No, it's almost out. Sometimes they're hard to get out of the shell. Well, maybe you can just use this to crack it open a little bit more. And
Didn't get any of it.
that's not one. There's a nut in that one. Oh no, there's no nut in that one. Oh, there is.
Well, there's a little one.
Where's that thing? So it's not exactly
Easy.
there. That one for some reason is stuck in there. I don't know. I guess that part maybe not good. It's not coming out of. So that one was just a little stuck in there. So we don't have to worry about that one. Anyways, you get the idea of it for the one that oh, there you go. See? There we go. It popped out. That's what should happen. This other one, that little bit was stuck in there, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's what should happen. So, in my basket, this is the hickory nuts are the white ones. So that's about how many we had collected. I mean, now we could have collected a lot more, but you know, I mean, this past year we didn't really, just collected a nice handful. So, now like I said, these black walnuts. Now we're gonna go into black walnuts. Okay, so that was hickory nuts. So, now black walnuts. So let me show you what they look like before that. So first of all, you collect them once they fall. They're going to start off when they're in the tree green. They look green, right? And so you don't want to pick them from the tree. They're not ripe yet. But once they fall, then they kind of turn less green and they start turning brown. Then they start turning black. So that's probably why they're called black walnuts. So this is what they look like when you collect them off of the ground. This in their hole, see? Now, like I said, black walnuts are very good for dyeing traps if you trap. Because it's kind of like a dye. Well, it is a dye, thank you. It is a dye, right? So you could even probably use it, I bet you could even use it for painting or dyeing something that you wanted to dye black, right? So, if you don't want your hands to get black and stained, even though it'll come off eventually, then you would want to wear gloves when you hold them, okay? You can pick them up without wearing gloves, but when you open this up, inside is where the dye, it's because it's wet and moist, and that will dye your skin. But if you don't care about that, then you don't have to wear gloves. But it's not that it's going to be dangerous, it's just that you want to keep your hands clean. Because even if after you wash it, it's a dye. It's not going to come off for a while. Okay, so now what you do to hold them, it's soft and squishy, so you just kind of pull it apart, see? Like that. So see, and then it looks like there's the shell, right? So it's very easy to do that. It comes off easy enough, right? So there you go, like that. So now, once you have them hold, and it's on the shell like this. So then you have to dry them out for probably a week if you want, or 2 weeks if you want to use them that year. Like I said though, you could just keep them like this for however long. Like I said, these ones in this basket, you can tell, have been dried for a while, and they are from 2023. See the difference? One is dry and one is wet. So, you want them to be dry. You cannot crack a wet walnut. That's funny. You cannot crack a wet walnut. So, now for cracking the walnuts, you could do it a lots of different ways. Now we're gonna put them in that bucket for our ones that need to dry, so we don't get confused. Now I can take my gloves off. Can you put it back in there? They're not really dirty. Okay, so now for cracking the black walnut. For cracking a black walnut. Alright, here, actually, can you give me 1 second? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it just got warm in here. We have the wood stove on and it's like right behind me. So I was getting a little warm, so we had to open the door. So, okay, so anyways, really quickly though, before we start cracking these, I just want to tell you about the holding part again. So like I said, you can use it, use your hands like I just did and put them with the gloves on. Or if you have a lot of them and you don't want to, do it by hand like that, there's a lot of ways that you could hull a black walnut. You could, from collecting however much you collect, you could throw them, or not throw them, but toss them all kind of like in a one layer pile in your driveway, and you could drive over them, and that would get the hulls off of them. You could put them all in a cement mixer and turn it on, and it would go around, and it would hull them. And there's probably other ways too. So if you don't want to do it by hand, you can do it that way. So that's for hulling. Now, also really quickly before we start cracking them, I will tell you, you could see this on my video if you go back to my channel when I dyed the traps. But if you want to dye traps with them, or dye anything with them, I suppose, you want to boil them with, or put them in the water with the hulls on, because the hull is what has the dye in it, right? Because I said it would dye your hands, right? So it's the hull that is the color. This hard nut is not the color. So if you want to use it for dye, keep the hulls on it and then put it in water. And you can go back to my channel, go find the video of when I dyed traps, and then you'll see what you do to dye stuff with them. Okay? So, all right. So that's all the way up to now to cracking. So these are dried, like I said, since 2023, which is way more than enough time. Your normal time would be about 2 weeks. Okay, so right here, see, I took the hickory attachment off. Now it's just plain. Took the wedge out. This is touching this. Again, same with the hickory nut. Vertical. The grain goes up and down, right? So the points up and down. Like this, not on its side. Right here, on this little thing right here, it looks kind of like this, but it's a little more shallow. Because the walnuts are bigger. Like this. Push in the wedge until it goes up, like so, right? Pull the handle down, but pull the wedge back a little bit, because again, you could smash it too much. Now again, if you want it to be smashed that much, it's okay. But if you don't, then don't smash it all the way. So let go, pull that back a little bit. A little bit more, maybe. Uh-oh, maybe not. Maybe I gotta start it over. Okay. Uh-oh. Sometimes it just takes a couple times of filling it. Now, walnuts are a little harder than hickory nuts, but it's cracking. You hear it. So see? Okay, but I didn't really go all the way down. I still kind of stopped. Now, but these are harder than the hickory nuts because it's a walnut and it's bigger. So now look inside of it. Now here, you take that piece off, take the nut out. Now these are of course bigger, the nuts, and it's easier to get out of the shell. Most of them are. Oh yeah, as long as, Now some of the pieces But see, but you have to kind of look because they kind of blend in. The nut blends in with the shell. Because see, that right there is still a nut. See, you see it? Can you see it? See?
That is stuck in there.
So somehow we're gonna have to get this shell off so we can get that nut out. So let's see how we can do that.
Leave it to me.
Did you get that one out?
Huh?
Did you get that one out?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Piece by piece.
Here, I'll let you do it. I'll get, there's a whole, see this how I have a lot more nuts in them than hickory too, but, oh look, see that one fell out, see? So black walnuts are bigger, which makes sense, right? Also black walnuts are really, really delicious in baking. Actually, if you go to my channel too, we did baking, right, for Christmas and around the holidays, and we did a recipe that we used some of our black walnuts in, and they were for cookies, a type of a cookie. So please watch my video on those cookies and try them because they are delicious. And with the black walnuts, it gives it such a great taste. Such a great taste. So there's our black walnuts. And let's see on this side. Oh yeah, there's still more on it. Oh, look at that. See, that was nice. That just came up. So look at that nice big piece. And that was the whole part of that. So, oh, you want me to crack one more? Alright, I'll crack one more black one. So, again, up and down. Pushing the wedge until it goes up. And the more you do it, the better feel you get for it. So like I just did that, that was really easy because I'm getting the feel for it. So, and look at that. Now black walnuts, you don't really have to, you don't put them in water to see what if it's bad or not. Oh, I guess you could put it in water, but we didn't put them in water. But mostly all of them are good. We don't really pick up bad ones. But you could do that if you wanted to, like you do the hickory nuts. But we don't do that. That one. It's easy when that shell comes right off. Like that other one did. So, I don't know. Maybe we can use this.
Careful.
Alright, so anyways, that's how. That's a little bit about black walnuts and hickory nuts here on our farm. What we do with them, like I said, there's other videos on my channel if you want to see the other things that we can do with these trees. And like I said, shortly we will do a hickory syrup and a black walnut syrup video, okay? Because it's getting to be that time of the year, of course, it's this January, for making syrup from the trees that God has blessed us with. I mean, He blessed us with a lot of good trees around here for syrup making. So we're very grateful. And please, thank you for watching again. Please subscribe and push a thumbs up, and please leave comments because we love comments. We love talking to all of you that are watching. And if you're new to watching my channel, please subscribe, push the subscribe, and also leave a comment because we'd love to talk to you too. And please remember that we are just so grateful of the way that God has blessed our lives, and we love to use it to bless your life as well. And remember that Jesus always will love you. Have a great night. Bye.